and the other one is about no priorities for deportation. What does these two things mean
Right.
about immigration?
Expedited removal is a new law that very much is really against only Mexican nationals, because in America we have two borders. We have the Canadian border, which you don't need a visa for Canadian citizens, and uh, in the olden days, landed also doesn't need visa, but now landed need a visa, but Canadian citizens don't. But then there's really no expeditious removal, because they come, they go, they come, they go. But for Mexicans, because the southern border is all Mexico, because Texas, California, Arizona, because they cross Mexico, which means that expedited removal is at time of entry. If I don't have a visa, or if I've lied about something, they immigration have a right, CBP have a right, and any land border to deport me and telling me that I cannot come back in 5 years. That's damaging, because most of us do come back, because we don't even know what expedited removal is. Once you have expedited removal, you have a perm bar. That means you come back illegally less than 5 years. Normally they come back the second week, or a few days later, a few hours later, and then you're stuck with forever not ever getting a green card through direct adjustment of status, and that's damaging. That's expeditious removal. The so far since April of 97, we have tried some motion to reopen. Expedited removal was extremely difficult to take care of. That's the worst. It's not Nitz Chavez. It's not land deportation, where you can claim no notice, technical error, but extreme is very difficult. The second issue is no priority, from Judge Newman, and it's a Ohio judge, which I thought is sad, but it's okay. Ohio is very Republican nowadays. That's why we have problems with our redistricting for congressmen's congressional races. But so what they're saying is that it's going back to the Trump era, where you should not have. So if you have a deportation, you have to go. You could not just stay here, because I'm taking care of old people, I'm taking care of young people, I work in healthcare, I have equities in America, which always have been the law. I don't know why he have to say that. But under Biden, already Biden is saying no deportation unless you have unless you have like 10 deportation or serious criminal record. And also if you have children born here, if you're a long time resident. So it contradicts with the Biden law. These are the two issues regarding immigration, the newest development.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And we have another questions. We have some questions that are coming in through our inbox, or actually through our Facebook Live. But today we want you to ask your personal question regarding to immigration. So the phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. The first question we have today, Ms. Wong, is can I apply for something? I am married to an American, but I am not with him anymore.
Okay, so the interesting thing is, you are married to him, but you're not together. So technically, you cannot do the I-130, but depends if you have children over 21, if you enter legally or illegally, depends on the totality of circumstances. You don't have to be married to an American citizen or green card holder to get a green card. There are a lot of other ways to get work permits and green cards. So yes, can you apply for something? Yes, if you have something to apply for. And marriage to a USC itself is not the deciding factor.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And don't forget, you can call for more information to the phone number 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Sandeep Patel is, hi, good afternoon. I want to know about the new Dignity Act immigration bill. Is any update about it?
So I wonder what's the Dignity Act? If you can give me some more idea, is that the one about if my parents died and I'm on the day of the death, I'm in America, humanitarian? Um, is that about the humanitarian reinstatement? And if on the day of death, you don't need to apply for humanitarian, but if you're not here, then we need to apply for the humanitarian reinstatement of the priority date. That takes 1.5 years. But I don't remember what Dignity Act is. If you can give Mr. Patel, if you can give me what the Dignity Act is, I can tell you.
Yes, Ms. Wong. So this is supposedly to be in the Congress right now, and this is Dignity for Detained Immigrants Act, that they may be released under some um, prerogatives that they could present, and because of that dignity, these people could be released from their detention.
Right now, the good news on detention, because these are just proposals, there's always serious proposals on the floor of the Senate and Congress. I won't pay too much heed to it. But right now, if we have friends or relatives that's detained, make sure you check old criminal records, old deportation. And also, you don't have to run to get a lawyer like in the olden days. Check criminal record and check deportation and voluntary departure. As long as they have no criminal record, if it's just a DUI, they normally will be released in a matter of days. That's my experience so far. I always tell my clients, don't just run and pay a lawyer, because they always call me. The husband was reporting and then they were jailed. So I said, wait for 2 days, because sometimes 2 or 3 days later, they automatically got released without a bond. So for now, don't do anything. If you have friends who is in jail, wait. And also, this applies to border entry. Most Indians and Chinese, when we came undocumented, we have no passport. Immigration cannot deport us if they couldn't get us a passport. And India and China, we don't kowtow to America, which means that we don't release passport just because American immigration thinks that they come from India. What happened if they're a spy? What happened if they come from Pakistan? And they purposely say they deport. So India give them a passport. And China is the same thing. We have so many enemies with China that China doesn't easily give a passport just because I say I'm Chinese. So don't worry about it. As long as you have no passport, they cannot deport you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And don't forget that you can get more information calling the phone number 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Hi, I am from Nicaragua. I came with my 3 kids and their dad. We were detained and separated. Now I was released yesterday, and I am already in Atlanta with the kids. The dad of my kids is supposedly going to be deported today. Is there anything we can do to avoid that he gets deported because he has the custody of the kids? We are not married.
Right. See, that's the problem. Normally, they allow one parent, even if you're married, sometimes. But now Biden is saying no separation of family. So even sometimes you're married, they'll take away one adult person, but because they to keep the kids in America, someone have to take care of them. So they take away one adult. For now, as I said earlier, maybe, just maybe, they won't get deported. And they always say that, oh, you'll be deported today, you'll be deported tomorrow. Maybe, just maybe, he won't be. And also, you're not married to him. If those kids are your kids, they're really not your husband's kids, then he really is unaccompanied. That means he came alone. I hope he's not deported, but for now, I won't use a lawyer because the southern border is really messed up. And also depends on the narrative he gave immigration to see if he has credible fear. Why did he come? Because we cannot apply for asylum or credible fear if we just want a better life, if we just for economics. That's what most people do, or tell them we do. So it depends on the narrative they gave them. For now, pray that he will not be deported. Miracles happen. I've seen so many times. People will call and say, oh, my husband will be deported. Somehow they got out of jail.
Yes, and that's true. And thank you so much for your sincerity, Ms. Wong, because this is tough. And I've seen some attorneys saying that, well, I used to be an immigration attorney, but I had to move to another field because this is too sensitive. This is too hard
Emotional.
for me,
Yeah,
emotional for me,
right,
and I am
right.
too sensitive for this. So we have to be strong, just like Miss Wong. She's really, really strong, and she has to go where she has to go. And thank you so much, Miss
Thank you.
Wong, for all of these over 45 years working in the immigration field.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And okay, the next question is good morning or good afternoon. What happens if I have a TN work visa? And my question is if I can change jobs, company, and if so, what will I have to do?
There are two ways to do it. TN visa means that you're either from Canada or Mexico. Those are the only two countries that give TN. So if you want to change jobs, you can do a changing of employer, file a new I-129, and do the changing of the jobs. In America, you don't have to go out. But any TN visa is also employer specific. So if you change employer, you need to change TN. Most of my Canadians or Mexican TN holders, they much prefer to go back to American Embassy in Mexico or go to the Canadian borders to do the change. But because of the virus, you can just change it here. You don't have to go back. More than that, the question is, don't forget that you should ask the same employer to file for a perm for you to get you, because perm takes about maybe 13 months now because there's 3 steps: prevailing wage, advertising, and then the filing. Even in the olden days, it's 3 to 6 weeks for approval. Now it's 7 months. I would do the perm and get a green card because TN visa is good for 3 years. So you can get a green card in less than 1 year and 9 months. That's what I would do. Instead of worrying about the extension, I would worry more about the green card. Once you get a green card, you can cancel the TN visa. You don't need that, and your whole family gets the green card.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And I have a large question. We have been checking a lot of these comments, but this person has been writing and writing, and the best way to answer is to talk to the expert who is the attorney Margaret W. Wong. So I had a friend that told me that maybe you can help us get a visa. The visa is for a friend in Costa Rica. We were thinking of a work visa or maybe a missionary visa that would allow my friend to stay as long as he would like, whatever is the least complicated to get. But that is why we would like to know if a work visa or student visa or a religious visa, he is part of a church, he plays the music, but he's not a minister or pastor. He has work in different missions. What is the best way to bring this person to the US?
Today, because right now there's a lot of consulates that's closed for tourist visa, not only just the virus, it's just people are not working. So I would not think about a tourist visa. A tourist visa allows like a church person to come visit churches, give seminars, but not to get paid. So forget about the B1, B2 visa for religious purposes. There are 2 visas left. You either do the student visa, which is easier today because American universities and colleges want our foreign funding to support the universities. So I would suggest doing a student visa, or better yet, get a religious school because you're a missionary, get a missionary religious school to accept the student, issue the I-20, and he can go to the American Embassy to apply. Right now, the American Embassy is open and close, but at least do the DS-160 and fit it in and get the F1. Another way to do it is the 2 ways to do religious worker visa. Number 1 way is to do an R visa. There may be a site visit. It takes about 7 months to get a religious worker visa. Once it's approved, you cable to Nicaragua, and he should be able to come in with a stamp. But also because of the closing of the American Embassy, the virus and different things, they may not even issue R visas like the usual way. So student visas may be a little bit easier than R visa. The other way to do a religious worker visa, missionary visa, is like we said earlier, the B1, B2, the business visa, but instead of saying business, they're coming to visit churches, but you have to invite them with the same denomination. So if they're Roman Catholic, you need a Roman Catholic church letter. If they're Baptist Christian, you need a Baptist. So Baptist, don't do a Presbyterian letter because it's just weird. If they're evangelical, do an evangelical letter. But I think it's just easier to get a foreign student visa. But even then, it's also difficult. Now it's very difficult to get visas to come, not just because of virus, it's just American Embassy have not enough. Because President Trump, before he left, fired more than 200 people that works with immigration in foreign American embassy to save money. So now we are stuck.
Thank you so much, Miss Wong. And yeah, we're going through a weird time regarding to immigration. So thank you so much. If you need more information, you can call directly to the office. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. This person that is asking the question is in Kentucky. So what is the closest office, Miss Wong? Nashville or Cincinnati, Columbus?
Kentucky is right next to Cincinnati. Cincinnati is only 2 hours from Columbus. Maybe Columbus is closer. That's what I'm thinking. Depends on where in Kentucky. But we also get a lot of Kentucky clients to our Nashville office because their friends there. It's a beautiful city.
Yes,
So either way, yeah.
it's just Kentucky is in between Tennessee and Ohio, so that's why we're asking what is closer. But just give us a call. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Last question, Miss Wong, because we know you have to go in a couple minutes. I filed I-130 for my wife a year ago, and it's not approved yet. Just the receipt notice. Is it normal that it takes so long?
Yes, that's very, very normal. A citizen filing for wife is a little bit faster than green card holder filing for wife, and also depends on what service center. Now they're increasing the workflow now because there's too much public complaint, so it may go faster. And it doesn't hurt to call them and do a public increase. In fact, Ohio, we just had a meeting with the Columbus chief to talk about how could we expedite cases. So they were telling you just keep calling them, and do it. So I would do the same thing. Also write them letters. They claim they do read their letters. There's no more local email. Years ago, we have like an email address for lawyers from Cleveland, from Columbus, from Cincinnati. Now they took that all off. Equal access.
Yes, and thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. We have more questions for today, but we know you have to go. You have a very important meeting in 5 minutes. So thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for having us today. See you next week. Take care. And well, we will see you very, very soon here in Atlanta.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And for everybody who has joined us today, thank you so much. And please don't forget to call 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. The attorney Margaret W. Wong and Associates. She is the expert with over 45 years of experience in the immigration field. Thank you so much and see you next time.